The routine vaccination of girls with the HPV vaccine in Scotland has led to a dramatic drop in cervical disease in later life, new research suggests.
Here's a summary of the article.
The routine vaccination of girls with the HPV vaccine in Scotland has led to a dramatic drop in cervical disease in later life, new research suggests. Their study, published by the BMJ, concluded that Scotland's HPV vaccination programme has led to a dramatic reduction in pre-invasive cervical disease. Cervical cancer is the second most common types of cancer in women under 35 in UK. The findings will need to be considered by cervical cancer prevention programs worldwide, the study reports. Getty HPV is the name given to a common group of viruses. There are more than 100 types of HPV. Many women will be infected with HPV over the course of their lifetime without any ill effect. Nearly all cervical cancers are caused by infection from a high-risk HPV. Many types of HPV affect the mouth, throat or genital area. Dr. Kevin Pollock, of Glasgow Caledonian University, said the impressive figures confirm that the HPV vaccine should significantly reduce cervical cancer in the next few years. The research has been welcomed by Joe's Cervical Cancer Trust. The charity's chief executive Robert Music said, "The findings of this research are highly exciting and clearly demonstrate the impact of the HPV vaccine in protecting the cervical health of future generations."
This post received a score of 45,806, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Had a coworker recently tell me that he had his kids receive all the required vaccines but didn't have them get this one, because he didn't believe in the science of it.
This always cracks me up. I've spent 6 years studying to become a provider, but when people hear something they don't like, they, with their vast amounts of Google search knowledge, decide it's bad science. I wish they would hear me out.
I hear way too much of, you can't trust studies because they were done by universities, like it's some kind of dirty word, and being a university means they manipulate the results of the studies as if that wouldn't jeopardize their grants and funding. Like if you don't trust science, then just stop using it all. No more driving your car. How do you know the engineer knew the right amount of force to apply the brakes? No more doctor's visits. How could they know where your bones are supposed to be? No more Wi-Fi in your home. What if someone hacks your blender while you're using it? If you truly don't trust the scientific process, stop using everything you don't understand.
You think they could go an entire week? Next few hours seems about right.
She had the shot after she had already unknowingly gotten HPV, as the shot came out in her later teen years. She always hated when people were against the vaccine because in her mind if there was a vaccine for leukemia or some sort of other cancer that wasn't sex-related, more people would get the shot. I got the shots when I was 11 and I'm very glad I did after watching her suffer for 5 years. I'm due for a baby any day now, and when it's old enough I'll be first in line for that shot for them, too.
I read her story. I'm sorry for your loss. I'll ask about HPV testing the next time I go in and the vaccine even though I'm in my early 30s.
The CDC recently approved it for those over age 26. Slightly smiling face.
JPG. This is great news about the efficacy of this particular vaccine, but we have known that for years. There are still people who oppose HPV vaccination, falling broadly into two camps. 1. Moralistic nutters who think that the prospect of not dying of cervical cancer is going to make teenage girls have more sex, and sex is bad. Of course, these idiots seem not to notice that teenagers were already having tons of sex, passing HPV around, and women were later dying horribly from it. This is tantamount to saying that a lingering death from cancer is a moral good.
Greater than teenage girls have more sex. Yet, another problem with this logic is that unvaccinated girls remain vulnerable to HPV for the rest of their lives. So even if they are chaste until marriage, they can still contract HPV as an adult.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.